Beret girl's world. Life is like prime rib. It gets messy, and you need a bit. You think your life is fine? Squeeze it with the juice of lime. Do you know where you're going to? The world you are living in? Try it out, Daddy-o. A new dish in the Black Cosplay kitchen. Yeah. Today, if you L7s aren't so keen on your veggies, don't worry, I'm about to put you up on game. Me and my lemon pepper steppers here are gonna show you the way to making some very cool spaghetti squash. It's mad real, yo. Stick around and let's get started. I'm ready to get popping over here with this olive oil that I've already set in the pan, because over here at the Black Cosplay kitchen, it's whack as fuck to cook with cold oil. We don't do that around here.
Yes,
you did?
We don't.
I did. All right then. So now that we've got a pan going with some olive oil already cooking, we're actually gonna combine that with some butter and get that going in our pan as well. So, ooh, you hear that applause? Music to my ears.
Yes.
So we're going to use a lot of butter here. This is unsalted butter because I know a lot of y'all struggle with those heart issues. And I need viewership, so let's keep it healthy. Alright? Unsalted butter into our pan. And because we started low and moved up high, we're going to turn our heat down just a little. We want the cream from this butter to make the sauce for our spaghetti squash. You dig?
Yes.
I dig too, baby. Alright then. So before, we can go a little lower than this because we're not trying to get burned. Because trips to the ER are L7. That's whack as fuck around here on the Black Cosplay kitchen. Alright, so let's get into this sauce. A little olive oil, half a stick of butter. We're borrowing the cream out of that butter. We're going to season this up here nicely with white pepper. Boom. More applause. Black pepper. Because there ain't no segregation over here. Oregano. Kick that up a notch. We're going to get just a little bit spicy with some crushed red pepper. And then right on, right on. And then because there's no salt, just a little dash. You like it? I like it. I like where we're going. Alright then. So now that we've got our butter base going with all our delicious seasonings wafting into our noses, want to add a couple vegetables here as well. So back into for some white onion, some salt, of course. I like it. I like it. Yeah, baby. Keep it going. I've also got some shallots. Now, those of you unfamiliar with shallots, they may be a little familiar in that they look very much like onions. They're going to offer some really mild dimension to that onion flavor for us, though. So this is going to add a little dimension for your palate. So if you're not familiar, today you're going to learn. I'm going to teach you something. And I've also got fresh garlic that I diced up. So as our sauce is cooking down here, it's looking beautiful and smelling divine. What I'm going to do next is add a squeeze of lemon So this is going to be important for a lot of folks who, I too am guilty of this shit as well. I put entirely too much salt in everything for myself, not when it's other people that I'm cooking for. However, I have a tendency to throw a lot of salt into things on top of things, and it's just, my palate naturally has been acclimated to that. However, sometimes it's not salt that we need to up that salty content or to get more of that umami. What we're looking for is some acidity, and that's why we added the lemon juice. So that's going to actually help up that, so we don't naturally want to add more salt to it. So that'll help us keep that blood pressure down. So good vibes only, and keeping it cool, daddy-o.
Ooh, yeah.
You feeling the vibes? I'm feeling the vibes. I might just be getting high on the fumes right now because this smells so divine. Speaking of getting high on fumes, is weed legal in your state yet? I mean, I know that a lot of the states are coming around, and we're getting to some big things here, but I'm just curious as to where everybody else is headed on this. You know, asking for my audience, not for myself. Naturally. So next we're going to add some Parmesan cheese in here, and this is going to cream up our sauce that we're going to be adding into our spaghetti squash, or adding our spaghetti squash into. Now I will say, this is actually fresh grated Parmesan, and I know y'all don't want to see me work my arms like that because you aren't getting that action. So I left it and did this on the side in advance, but when I tell you that fresh grated Parmesan changes the game for your dishes, I mean this. It's not like that stuff in the green container that you're getting, you know, elsewhere. But you might want to consider this because it's actually cheese and not sawdust. We're also going to add some tomatoes right now to our sauce. And I'm going to let them cook down as well. So these are seasonal Roma tomatoes that I cut up and we've got involved here. We're going to let them simmer down in our mixture as well and take on all of these delightful flavors so that we can go ahead and add our spaghetti squash to everything that we got here. Alright, so what we're doing is taking out the inside of our spaghetti squash. This is what it looks like once you've got a finished product, but just to bring you all up to speed, you bake them face down here, and then the seeds and everything, which you don't want, are going to fall to the front. And I'm just going to dump those, but we want that piece off. And then it's really simple after that to just take your fork to grab up the middle. It all falls out of spaghetti. We've turned our heat off because we don't want the spaghetti squash to cook anymore. It doesn't take much for these to cook, and they're already done. So we're just adding it to our sauce. Let's get ready to plate up for our first bite. All right, let's make it snow. Can't have any pasta without a little more Parmesan sprinkled on top. All right, and so here it is, our finished product of our spaghetti squash. It's a vegetarian-friendly dish, low carb for those of you watching, and try to keep the salt low. So let's dive in and see how this tastes, Daddy-o. It's super light, flavorful, slightly spicy. It's got spice. It's real nice. I feel the vibes. It gives me hives. No, that's okay. I don't have bars like that, y'all. But thanks for watching. If you're looking for low carb options and healthier options, if you want to try this out, let me know how it is. Let me know what you thought of it if you decide to make it for yourselves. If you decide to add some things or subtract them, go ahead and hit me in my DMs or message me on the Black Cosplay Kitchen on Instagram. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of the Black Cosplay Kitchen.